So I'm here this afternoon. It's a great pleasure and a privilege to be speaking with Melinda Fouts, who runs a company called Success Starts With You. Melinda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Peter. Thank you for having me with you today.
So let's start straight in. People usually want to know, not that you've been born, but in a professional sense, what exactly do you do?
I unlock the fullest potential of my clients.
Hmm.
I have been a psychotherapist for 20 years and then turned the dial a little bit and moved into executive coaching where I can be a little bit tougher, more aggressive, and use the same skills and tools I have cultivated for over 20 years.
So that's interesting because we've spoken before and you said that you were using these skills in a different professional context of dealing with people with serious problems. And one day you sort of realized that these skills were applicable in another context. Could you just sort of take us over that sort of?
Oh, sure. We all limit ourselves from our fullest potential. And so when I moved into executive coaching, I found that people still have those limitations. And I use quite often the emotional intelligence EQI 2.0 assessment because it helps people see where their blind spots are and where their strengths are and what needs strengthening.
Excellent. Yeah. And go on a little bit about emotional intelligence, please, because it's a field that has become very popular since it had a name, I think, but it's always been there. But could you take us through what it really means for a busy, tired executive that perhaps hasn't had time to read Daniel Goleman et al.?
You know, everyone says they know what emotional intelligence is, but they really don't. There's 15 competencies, and a competency is a learned ability. And when we look at emotional intelligence, there's two factors that I have discovered with everyone I work with. They don't know what their blind spots are, and they don't know their go-to style when under stressful and challenging situations. And those go-to styles can range from becoming defensive, overly controlling, hostile. Some people shut down. Some people get highly opinionated. And so when I work with someone, they have to look at their go-to style. So what I do is help bring more awareness, help them uncover their blind spots, and that way we're starting to unlock their fullest potential. So in other words, oh, go ahead.
I think your dog may have gone into the dark side there. It's obviously not getting enough attention.
He has a playmate. They saw me in here. They're like, well, we want to be on TV too.
I wonder what's going on here. Is thinking. But okay, yeah. So so you use a particular instrument, the Emotional Intelligence 2.0, and what do people sort of what might supposing you got a cynic who says, well, surely this is common sense, and we know it's not. How would you? So what would be your riposte to a not a cynic, but perhaps a skeptical executive who says, surely it's just common sense, all this stuff, isn't it?
Oh no, because what happens is people do not realize how much their emotions control most of their life, especially when it comes to decision making. So we all can get in our own way of our own success. And when I get a very skeptical individual, I say, come on, take the assessment. Let's see where your strengths are. And what happens is people overuse their strengths in stressful situations and challenging situations, and then it's a weakness. And so we have to look at other ways to uncover new strengths, and that's where we unlock the full essence of who you can be and unlock your success.
I had a direct experience of that last night. I overused the strength of language when I found out that, having come back from a CeeLo Green concert, our fantastic railway system had decided to cancel all the trains and put us on buses for 2 hours instead of 20 minutes. And there were some policemen trying to herd us into these buses, and I chose to argue about it, which is when a strength actually nearly turned into a weakness, because I argued so much that he threatened to arrest me. I must have I'd had a couple of drinks.
Well, you might have had a stressful situation and then you were going to your go-to style. Maybe you're a little argumentative.
No, I was very persistent and a little annoying, even for me, annoying. But actually, you've got some examples, I think, about how this is valuable. But I absolutely recognise that for myself, I am quite good at arguing in a reasonably productive way. But the policeman was tired, and he thought the best solution was to put me in a cell for the night.
He wanted to teach you a lesson and silence you in a cell.
He did. Unfortunately, he didn't get away with that either. Anyway, but tell me some other.
Peter, I would have to say, well, let's find another style instead of choosing the argumentative style. What else could you do?
I wasn't argumentative. It was more oratory, but he didn't want to hear it at 12 o'clock at night.
No.
So actually, that's the serious thing. Strengths can become weaknesses when used inappropriately or in inappropriate situations. That's a really important point you've just made there. Have you got some examples that sort of illustrate how this stuff does actually play a real part in decisions or, relationships or anything else at work that people would recognize?
Well, studies reveal that upper management, top executives are often very insecure and they do not have a lot of self-confidence. When that happens, it impacts your decision making. And more often than not, our emotions impact our decision making more than we'd like to think, rather than having a thorough answer. So if we lack confidence in making a decision. And when we lack that confidence and we have to make a decision, our stress levels go up. When we go up in our stress levels, we get caught up in what's called the amygdala hijack, because the brain only knows two states, reward or threat. And so in the workplace, a common threat is when there's change and transition. So that's when people would become highly irrational and emotional, and then we're not operating in a very business-like manner. And so we have to increase our confidence so that we can make better decisions. I have someone right now I'm coaching in the UK, and on his assessment, decision-making and confidence were barely on the graph. So the nice thing about this tool is that people can see where they are and then see where they have grown in these competencies. Because we want to keep our stress levels down.
I don't know if you noticed there, but I did look down, and it wasn't because I was disinterested. I suddenly realised my phone was making noises, and I was trying to turn it off. But because I'm a guy, I can't do two things at once.
That's all right.
Apologies for that, but it is now switched off.
I left mine upstairs.
You mentioned that you do work in the UK, and I know you're in Colorado, which I've never been to, but you're up in the mountains, aren't you?
I am.
And you travel sometimes, but in fact, most of your work you work anywhere in the world, don't you? So how do you do it?
I can work anywhere. I've coached Switzerland, France. So I do a lot of Skype to Skype calls. Sometimes people want to just do it on WhatsApp or on the phone.
Just take us back over those countries, because the signal dropped a little bit there. Can you go back through your Hall of Fame?
My Hall of Fame. Well, I've coached someone in Afghanistan, the UK, Spain, Switzerland, France. I am talking to people in Africa. And of course here on the continent, United States. And we usually do Skype calls. Some people do WhatsApp, and other people just want to do it on the phone.
Okay, fine.
And I have made wonderful connections all over the world, and I love it.
Okay. So
I'm reaching out to Australia now.
Again?
I'm reaching out to Australia now.
Oh, fantastic. All over the world then. So you don't have to go to Colorado. You can go anywhere. How do we get in touch with you, Melinda?
You can email me at melinda@successstartswithyou.net, not .com, .net.
And is the website www.successstartswithyou.net as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And have you anything else to say that the dog doesn't want to say for you?
No, this was great. I want to thank you, Peter, for your time. Great questions.
And what I want to say is that emotional intelligence is just one of those really important things that many people overlook, but difficult encounters rely on being, if you're going to succeed at them, emotional intelligence is often the differentiator.
Well, it increases revenues 16%.
Mm-hmm.
It increases employee retention, and it increases leadership effectiveness when you have this in your organization.
An absolute pleasure. Go find the dog, and we'll
Okay.
close out on this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.